It was a Category 5 hurricane that came into the fortress last night. VGK gets blasted at home 5-2 by Carolina to halt the Golden Knights' home ice win streak at 8. More details come your way next, right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast, and please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are brought to you by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. Carolina, Chris, wins its 9th game in their last 10 contests. The Hurricanes come into Las Vegas and dominate VGK at the Fortress last night. 5-2 is the final. It wasn't that close as they snapped VGK's home win streak at 8 in a row to start the season. VGK outclassed from the get-go, outshot 16-4 in that opening period. VGK was slow from the outset. Eric Robinson scored a goal from the slot. Jesperi Kotkaniemi came up with a big goal. Was that okay?
Kotkaniemi, you got it.
Okay. Remember they gave him like the $1 signing bonus to sign there in Carolina? I wonder if he put that on the roulette table last night. In any event, he scores on the rebound off of Hill, and he lights the lamp. 2-0 and a 1. Then Jordan Stahl gets into the act, and Tyson Jost, and 4-0 in the second. And that's when Bruce Cassidy had enough, and he pulled Aiden Hill for Akira Schmid. Pretty much the Stahl goal just sent Bruce Cassidy into full shake, rattle, and roll mode because Shea Theodore just coughed up the puck.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of ways to go. I'll start with Aiden Hill. Aiden Hill, I don't think was actually that bad. Coach Cassidy didn't like the first goal. I don't agree with that, but outside of the first goal, which was a deflection from Tight, you had a situation. You mentioned the rebound goal. Aiden Hill makes a great first save on the play, and no one's there to box out or anything like that. Okay, fine, whatever. Shea Theodore's turnover on the power play, brutal. What are you going to do? And God, if looks could kill, Aiden Hill, like his hand was up. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a little something to say to Shea Theodore between periods, put it to you like that. And then the final goal that got him pulled, deflection, lost face-off deflection. What are you going to do? So,
sure, that's what you're going to do. You're going to win the face-off.
Well, win a face-off, fine. Jack Eichel, let's see, Eichel 41%. Nicholas Waugh won. Wow, I'm going to go full major league here. That's all he got in one GD hits, one face-off win, and 11 chances for Nicholas Waugh. Jeez. 65% for Hurdle. It's the only thing he did right in that game. Even Carlson was only 30% in the circle. So bad. You mentioned about the Hurricanes being on another level. That's honestly what it is. The Hurricanes and the Jets are separating themselves as the elite teams, and the Golden Knights are not.
They have those cards that give the grades and everything at the bottom.
I have it open here. I actually have it up, the hockey stat cards on Twitter.
Okay. Noah Hannafin and Alex Passenger Pietrangelo. First time we're hearing passengers this season. That was on my bingo card. Pietrangelo were at the very bottom. I mean, absolutely nothing out of those two. And, yeah, you have to box out. Cassidy, I thought, laid out the game plan at his pregame presser correctly. He knew exactly what the Hurricanes were going to do. Why? Because he played them a ton when he was in the East. He understands the structure.
He made sure to say that in the press.
Yeah, he understands the structure. He told his team that they needed to skate north and south. And let's face it, a lot of things went wrong. They couldn't get the puck, clean exits out of the defensive zone. And he said that this team was going to play a physical brand of hockey, and VGK just not prepared for it. The coach did, I think, everything that he could do to set up VGK for a win, for a victory. But again, the Hurricanes were just too good. Let's give them some credit.
The Hurricanes get a ton of credit for being good. The Golden Knights don't get any credit for being good because they sucked last night. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. So Coach Cassidy was interesting in the post game. You're starting to get a little squirrely. Didn't hold back on Aiden Hill's first goal. Talked about the game plan. At first, Cassidy took ownership. He didn't get the team prepared enough. It's his job to do that. But then he stops himself and makes the comment about, oh, well, we did put it out there and then this, that, and the other, but I guess the message wasn't strong enough. So, there's certainly some frustration on the side of Coach Cassidy, and I get that. And Cassidy is getting an up-close perspective of everything we're seeing right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's seeing, we're going to talk about this more later, obviously, but Golden Knights doing a great job bum slaying. You get some good teams coming to T-Mobile now or on the road, and the Golden Knights are struggling.
Yeah, puck management, again, just not there for VGK. We heard that narrative a lot last night. What did the betting line close at? Carolina finally gets a good night of sleep, and they don't have to fly in from Carolina, 3 hours flight there on the day of a game. And so we saw what this team is made of. That was the L that they took the other night in Colorado. That's not this team because they went up 2-0 in that game. And then they just got tired. They were gassed, but they're a good team. We saw that. They are a contender.
So let's talk about goaltending for a second. Aiden Hill is who he is this year. We don't need to talk about that a whole lot. You want the definition, though, of one more save. Watch Pyotr Kochekov. Kochekov was the goalie for the Hurricanes last night. We talked about him in the pregame show as well. Kochekov made so many saves off of deflections from tight. I forgot who it was, but it might have been William Karlsson, actually. It was a high deflection, a high danger goal, high danger situation. And Kochekov didn't just save it. He didn't just get the rebound to, a soft area. He gloved it. He gloved it. Yeah. There were so many tight situations where Kochekov just basically shut the door. And that's what you need out of your goaltender. We're not seeing that one more save from Aiden Hill. We're not. I know people said he was the best player up for the Golden Knights last night. I think that was garbage, personally. I think Aiden Hill was decent, but he wasn't good by any means. Looking at the stat cards here, they rated Zach Whitecloud having a good game. Whitecloud looked okay, actually. Holtz is right around it all the time, just can't find a way to get one in. Even Barbashev, I think, had some moments last night, but outside of that, not a whole lot to be excited about.
We have to make sure that when we see a goal like in the slot, we're going to call it a one-timer plunger. I think that is something new that we heard from Cassidy.
Please call that a plunger of a game too.
Yeah, it was a plunger game that you like to flush, right? And again, just mixing up some of the lines late in the contest. Yeah. I saw Eichel out there with Holtz and Howden at one juncture. None of that's going to stick. And Mark, you know what? They would have won the game if Mark Stone were there on the ice. They would have won. Narrative City. No. Why do they keep throwing these narratives at it?
No.
Oh, wouldn't it have been great? I don't know who. Did anyone narrate that tribute to William Carrier? Did anyone? Because they should have had.
It's funny you said that. Did you see it?
I saw some of the video. I kind of
the opening video was George McPhee selecting William Carrier, like at the expansion
draft.
Did
he say Carrier?
He said Carrier. It was great.
Okay, that's great. I didn't hear that, but I wanted Cassidy to narrate it and we welcome back to the fortress, William Carrier.
So I got a funny story. Stephen Marsh.
What was the line? I asked you a question.
Oh, the betting line.
Yeah.
I didn't see what it closed at, but I know
was it 130, 140?
I know the Golden Knights were plus 120 during the day.
Okay.
So it probably moved a nickel either way, if I had to guess.
All right.
Stephen Marsh gave me a good story after the game about Will Carrier. Will Carrier still has to train his kids not to say night during the national anthem.
Oh, that's funny. That's pretty.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And Carrier took a spill. I think he tripped over Kochekov in his pregame lap. That was kind of funny last night. But Carrier, as far as his character and everything, is missed. His health isn't missed, but everything else about Carrier is missed. It was nice to see him. Always getting a nice ovation. Give me a lot of curtain calls this year. A lot of curtain calls. My voice had to coach a hockey game last time.
It's a little raspy.
Struggling.
And Cassidy also said that, get some coffee or tea, and you or maybe some of that moonshine you have
I will
behind
be
you.
getting a refill on coffee when you do your ad read. So if I'm
Okay.
not back right away, just keep going.
Don't worry, it'll be a 2-hour ad read. And Cassidy said that the veteran guys did not play their A game last night. So
They
you're
didn't play a B
talking
game
about him
either.
well, he was taking shots though. He
He
was.
was. No, this is the Cassidy that got himself in trouble in Boston. We're seeing a little bit right now. He's comfortable.
Frustrated.
He's comfortable.
He is comfortable and he's frustrated at the same time. 4 goals, 21 shots on goal. That was the book last night on Aiden Hill. Schmid came in and played. Schmid. He came in and played all right. I mean, in mop up duties. Just the empty netter was the only goal. He played okay.
Yeah. No. Listen, I'm glad they pulled him. I'm glad.
Started.
This is 100% right that he should have started. So let's look at the game log really fast here. This is something that I point out in the Seattle game. Now we're 2 games past that here, but looking at the Golden Knights game log, was this 4 starts, I believe, in a row for Aiden Hill, if I'm not mistaken. So Carolina, Seattle, Edmonton, Utah.
He never can handle that. It's not his fault, but it wasn't his fault last night as much. But he should not have been in net again last night. They just beat them down, the goaltenders.
Or Schmid should have been in net Friday against Seattle.
Yeah.
One of those two.
They should have done something there. Absolutely.
There's no trust outside of Schmid. I'm sorry, outside of Hill and Samsonov. Just like there was no trust outside of Logan Thompson, who is still perfect with the Washington Capitals, by the way. No trust outside of Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill last season as well. Same thing this year, and it's going to cost the Golden Knights if this keeps happening. It's going to cost them a goalie.
2 things about the crowd last night. Was there a crowd? This game should have been played on Veterans Day, like at 1:00 in the afternoon, with all the kiddos out of school and everything. It should have been an afternoon matinee affair. What was the crowd like? And were those boos that I heard a lot?
Oh, boo birds were out all game. Boo birds were out all game. I had some different people sitting around me in my season ticket area, and it was for this is for condos. So a lot of Chicago fire and passion people. This is a scrimmage out there. They got to hit somebody, and I'm like, oh my god. But I get it. There was frustration. The crowd itself was okay. Getting around T-Mobile, I'm sure most of you saw my tweet about the F1 traffic, and it's just a cluster. It's a cluster puck right now out there. It's absolutely terrible getting to T-Mobile, so that's going to affect the attendance. And here we go again with another year of this F1 crap.
Yeah,
but here we go. The crowd was okay. I will say that the crowd was okay early in the game. Me and Allie did our walk in the second or during the second period. And people were funneling to the exits. Like we walked down by the store, which is right by the exit there. People were funneling to the exit like with 12 minutes to go in the second. It was a revolving door leaving.
I would have left after goal number 4. That would have been.
I saw Shea Theodore's significant other leaving as well.
She left too.
She left. Wow. She did. She left.
After the turnover. Did you go to the Wagyu sale? They had a sale of some sort. I had to post a photo. I don't know what they were doing. Okay, coming up next, we'll have an update.
Was it a food drive, I believe?
Oh, it was a food drive. I thought they were selling, somebody's bedazzled costumes, outfits. Okay, coming up
if I'm
next.
Not back right away, just keep yapping. Don't worry. If I'm not back right away, keep yapping.
I can do that.
Good.
Coming up next, an update on VGK injuries right here on Locked On Golden Knights. We are driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring the best, he didn't put up the graphic. Okay, there we go.
It's there.
Again, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you to find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day. Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more that you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join the 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent and fast. Again, listeners of this show, you'll get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility. Indeed.com/lockedon. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon right now and support our show, Locked On Golden Knights, by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. We're also brought to you today by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle all the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And we have a Thursday night game this week. And Nick Sirianni is not very happy about his Eagles having to play on a Thursday night. Face it, bud, you need to play. Eagles -3.5 against Washington. Total on that game is 49. Right now, new customers of FanDuel can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. When you have a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com and join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That is FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the National Football League. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco flying solo, along with Chris Golick making a fresh pot of coffee. And VGK right now is a team that is on the mend. They're on the mend, as is Golick. Oh, yeah. That's Chris Golick right there. Yeah, take care of that voice, bro. VGK on the mend, according to Bruce Cassidy. Mark Stone first, missing his second straight game with a lower body injury. We could see Stone on this 2-game road trip. VGK playing real tough teams here at Anaheim and in Utah, and only half of the audience can see that game there live. And we could see him soon, according to Cassidy. And Elliot Friedman tweeted out yesterday that it was not considered to be a serious injury for Mark Stone.
Friedman is certainly the comment that I'm listening to more or less than Cassidy. And I'm not knocking Cassidy for his updates that he gives with the injuries. It's what McCrimmon tells him to say, and it's just coach speak and team speak and however you want to put that. Now, if Friedman is just regurgitating what Cassidy said about Stone, then obviously that's a concern. But right now, I think this is more optimistic than pessimistic. There we go. I'm quoting the Dolphins head coach about Tyreek Hill's availability for last night's Monday night game. There we go. So hopefully this is only, hopefully by the long road trip coming up. God, my voice is terrible today.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the longer road trip where they got 5 games on the road in Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, that road trip. If Stone can get back for that road trip, I think that would be a win.
Okay. Ilya Samsonov also back on the ice yesterday for VGK. So he's not far from being back between the pipes. So
he practiced on Sunday. I was surprised he wasn't actually in the game on Monday.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're surprised he wasn't watching, sending in his fantasy football picks on Sunday.
I'm 3-0 in fantasy football. I'm happy right now.
Okay, so Sammy's got to start one of the next 2 games, right? Has to.
Who? Oh, but there's another goalie besides Aiden Hill in this roster. Oh, God, yeah. I mean, honestly, when there was Team Canada tryouts happening, Samsonov had 2 starts in a row, and they were trying to even the starts out a little bit. I wouldn't be completely surprised, honestly, if the next 2 games, if it was Samsonov for Anaheim and Utah, as long as he's not sore and, he's not tired or anything like that. He gets tired easily. But if Samsonov is healthy, Samsonov might go 2 in a row. He might get an extended rest.
Yeah. And then there's also the case of Victor Olofsson. And we heard Cassidy say something to the effect that Olofsson from Frozen Olaf from Frozen has turned the corner and is going in the right direction in recovering. But we saw him limping at the VGK Gala. He was not on the dance floor that night, folks.
That's still a positive comment, though, I think, about Olofsson. Whether that means he's a month or weeks away, I don't know. But this probably means he didn't tear his ACL or anything like that, which is obviously the initial concern watching the way he went down. So Maybe it's a slight fracture. I don't know what he's got going on. But point being is if he's turning a corner, things are moving in the right direction for Olofsson. The lack of VGK depth right now is on display without Mark Stone. It's apparent. This
They
version of
would
the
have
Golden
won.
Knights
They would have won
struggles.
they would have won if he were in the lineup last night. They would have won.
The Golden Knights are used to succeeding without Mark Stone for large pockets of the season for the last 2 seasons now. And all of a sudden this year, the Golden Knights, I mean, what they scored 3 in Seattle or 4? I think it was 3 in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. And then only scored 2 goals. One is really a mop-up goal. Both goals are really mop-up goals, I guess. And you look at the defensive side, all of a sudden the team has given up 8 goals in terms of with the goalie in the net. So another concern.
Yeah. And speaking about half the audience watching a game, a lot of complaints last night on nighttime minus.
Always.
Wow.
I
actually got when everyone else had like poor reception and they gave up. I could watch the entire game.
It's good.
I did watch the entire stupid game.
1 out of 50 player, 1 out of 50 viewers can get a good experience.
So the game went over the total, right?
Yes, it did. Oh my God. I took over 6.5. I thought it was going to be a high scoring game.
6.5. So Barbashev's goal.
Yeah. So I'm listening on the way home. We left with about 8 minutes left in the third, which was probably too generous. Should have left earlier.
Daddy daughter date.
Heard the empty netter. I'm like, okay, we got a shot. And then they get the power play at the end of the game. I'm like, ooh, we're live. And I hear the horn go off on the broadcast. I'm like, yes. My daughter's like, why are you so happy? I'm like, don't worry about it.
It was about 6 minutes they took out around that mark.
That was good. That was taking a chance. I like that. I like that.
6 minutes. That's the earliest I've ever seen Cassidy pull a goaltender. Right?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No, it was smart. Actually, game was out of control, and he was pissed. Oh my gosh, Cassidy was so mad. Coming up next, we will talk about VGK. Can the Golden Knights beat good teams? That's our topic when we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Folks, Prize Picks is the best place where you get real money sports action. There's over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. And also, Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. So your lineups stay in play, even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup alive. And Prize Picks also invented the flex play. That means you could still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect, and you can double your money even if one of your picks does not hit. And they have a lot of great features there. Sign up today, and you will receive $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. And a lot of great weekly promotions and much more. Prize Picks is the best way to get real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are not? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long. Again, download the app today. Use that promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will receive $50 instantly when you play just $5. Prize Picks. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. You can find us wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. Fridays, we have WTF Day. WTF, I'm not going to be around this Friday. That is a WTF. And Saturdays, it's the Chris times Chris Jr. show. So what is this Dasco hat trick? That was funny. Did you see the Cardasco hat trick last night? Your microphone. There we go. Your mic is off.
So what was it? A car chase, a fight, a William Karlsson empty netter. I'm assuming had to be on there, and
I think so. It just started. Everyone had their own opinions, but we did last night. I almost had the Karlsson goal.
Tony.
It's a fight. It's more than like three things. So it's like a fight, it's an assist, it's a goal, and it's a car chase. That was
How is
the
William
first.
Karlsson empty netter not on that list?
Well, then, of course,
That's fake
folks
news.
started to
That's fake
chime
news right
in.
there.
A lot of folks chimed in, and one of them added that it was a Carlson empty netter, a car chase, which we had a great car chase last night. Some shooting suspects in LA. It's always good. So I was watching that. That's right. I was lying. I lied. I did not watch the entire game last night. There was a good car chase in the middle of that. It just, some of those chases just are too short. Like the guy, he went into a dead end street. Like, come on, man, get a map, bro.
Steal a car with navigation next time, bro.
No kidding. So let's talk. VGK had won 8 straight games before running into these Category 5 hurricanes. Combined record.
It's more like a Category 3. Carolina was good, but it wasn't like a
5.
That's a concern as well.
Yeah. Did they do the storm surge? I would have done the storm surge at the Fortress to rile people up, like they do at home. Combined record of the teams that VGK has beaten during this 8-game win streak, 50, 55, and 14. 50, 55, and 14. And then you'll look at the records of the teams on the road that have beaten VGK. So the Caps are 10-4. You have, Tampa 7-6-1. You have Florida 11-3-1. The Kings 9-5-3. Last night, Carolina, nothing would be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Remember that song? 11-3 for the Hurricanes.
What?
Go ahead. It's before your time, bro. Take it away.
What
was the best win? What was the best win so far for VGK? Edmonton, a 500 team. Cal, Gary, a team they beat 5-0. What was VGK's? What is their trademark victory of this season?
Probably the Edmonton game, I would say. The Edmonton game showed you, and the Seattle game they lost, but my point being about those two games, this team has fight in it. They got some grits. They won't quit. I mean, obviously the Carolina game is what it is, but if the Golden Knights are in a game late, they're going to find a way to get some scoring chances. So the Edmonton game is probably the character building game of the season so far. So yes, I mean, you put this on a silver platter for me. The 3 opening victories: Colorado, St. Louis, Anaheim. Colorado is, I don't know how they're doing now, but they're not great. St. Louis, Anaheim. Moving on. Los Angeles Kings, they beat them 6-1 at home. The Kings got better since then, though. The Kings got better after that.
Wait, what was that? Their 8th consecutive game?
Exactly. Exactly. 100%.
Or 9th or whatever it was, or 7th, whatever it was.
Yes. No.
And then St. Louis played their 3rd game in 4 days. And of course, we saw how bad Colorado was on opening night. They've gotten a tad better.
Ottawa, the Golden Knights had to empty the clip to put up 6 goals to win that game. San Jose Sharks. Okay, moving on. The Flames 5-0. Good game, but the Flames, I don't know. I think they were overachieving early in the season. Utah overtime. Come on. And then you got the Edmonton game, and then now you got, without Mark Stone, the Golden Knights are not. They've given up 9 total goals. They've scored 5 total goals. So the Golden Knights do a good job beating poor teams when it's an advantageous situation for the Golden Knights, playing at home, benefit of a back-to-back, benefit of the Kings opening the first month of the season on the road, whatever narrative you want to spit right there.
I'll give you one.
Mark Stone played?
No. Rigged schedule. There you
go. Whatever, fine. Say it however you want to say it. But the point is, the Golden Knights, when in a good situation against a bad team, play well. The Golden Knights, when in a level situation, when it is an equal situation for both sides, like the Hurricanes getting a full day of rest instead of flying in the day of a game, the Golden Knights struggle. When the Golden Knights play a decent team, they struggle. Now, let's give the Golden Knights some credit for that the road trip against the Caps, Lightning, and Panthers. Caps are a good team. They lost 4-2 first game of the road trip. Fine, whatever. Obviously, extra juice for Logan Thompson that game, too, who will be in the Fortress on Sunday. Tampa Bay Lightning, they were winning that game the entire time, coughed it up at the end. Okay, fine. Florida Panthers leading the third period, coughed it up, losing overtime. So at that point, the narrative hadn't been fully written yet. Now, nearly a month later, the narrative is written. Golden Knights play bad teams, they win. They play good teams, they lose. This is not an elite team. This is a team that is good. They're a good team. They're a good team.
They're a good team.
There's still cautious optimism about the Vegas Golden
I said
Knights.
good, not great. Yeah, they're good.
They're good, not great. If we're going to use, we see all those rankings and stuff like where people do the teams by tiers, right?
Yeah.
They're usually funny things they'd say, but you have, I believe, Washington and Winnipeg and the Carolina Hurricanes on the top. And then you got that second tier of teams like Washington, Florida, all those teams. The Golden Knights are maybe at the top of the third tier right now as far as power rankings, I guess, if you're going to put it like that. They're not very good. They're good. That's it. That's who they are right now. And now that they're getting tested with injuries and depth, they're failing.
Yeah. The first leg of this now 7 of 8 games on the road schedule is it's manageable. I mean, they should win at Anaheim, which they always beat up, and then of course they go to Utah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lay an egg against Anaheim and then come back and win against Utah. Would not be surprised one bit.
This team. Okay, and does Mark Stone come back on this 2-game roadie?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
He's going just to drink Molson's and play poker.
I think the best case scenario is Sunday against Washington, which is still a win, or the next road trip. And honestly, if he's back that fast, that's a win. That's a win. That's good. I'm not sold it's going to be that fast even.
Does Logan Thompson start in net for the Caps on Sunday?
It's not his game in the rotation, but that could change. I'll tell you that.
High drama. Well, of course, state-run media, state-run television last night, stand corrected, talked about Washington and never mentioned a 7-0 Logan Thompson.
It's because Tony said because Marchessault is struggling, the team's gonna drag his name through the mud. The fan base is doing the same thing. Everyone is. You mentioned Marchessault's name, they all pile on. You mentioned Logan. I was actually talking to Logan last night. I said, "Hey, watch this," and I put the tweet out there about Logan doing well and stuff. And I got people saying Logan Thompson is a locker room cancer. It's known around the league. I said, "Fine, show me, people." I said, "Show me." I showed 2 people said he's a locker room cancer. One is the stupid troll feed. Another one is someone I interact with who's very pleasant. But I said, "Show me." Show me these receipts. Everyone hates Logan Thompson. Let's see it. Crickets.
Oh, my goodness.
Crickets. No one has anything. No one has anything.
I'll bet you that will be a very short tribute.
It's going to be a short tribute, and half the fans are going to boo because they're clueless.
They're going to boo him because there's this hatred about people that leave the organization for better. Like if Logan Thompson were here, Aiden Hill would still get 5 straight starts.
Logan will be the first to tell you that too. That's the thing. Logan will be first to tell you that.
Right.
That's why he left. That's why he left.
Right.
He's making a name for himself. He's making a name for himself. Good for him.
We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure to subscribe. Of course, we appreciate everything that you folks do, all your interactions, great funny tweets last night on the Dasco hat trick. I was dying. It was fun. The car chase.
For your YouTube comments, folks. I'll be waiting in the comment section today. People have a lot to say after a Golden Knights victory, but when they lose, all of a sudden people don't talk. So I'll be waiting.
Crickets. I've got nothing here like on my feed because usually if they win, they're like, "We told you so, Cardasco." Right? They rip us. Yes. Of course. Don't forget Fridays. Save your comments for Friday, WTF Day. Saturdays, the Chris Jr. Show, and that is the YouTube exclusive. Please subscribe there. We appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again.
Thanks for putting up my raspy voice, folks. Sorry, I was, I don't know, this like just
tuned out.
Apologies, guys.
They tuned out in the second period like most fans did last night. For Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.